Hello, dear ones. Today is October 18th. The year is 2020, and we have today's spread of the day. Using the Tarot de Marseille's example of a simple cross pull, what I've done here is I placed the cards as so, and then I have added up their numbers, which equaled 21. We have 6 plus 7 plus 8, which equaled 21, which is the World card. So how this goes is, this card represents things we know. This one represents things we don't know or need to be aware of. This card is where we're coming from, and this is where we're going. And this is the present and the answer. So, starting off, something that we know about today, René Descoux. This card is often attributed to tarot readers. So, it's just foresight, having the ability to pull from our creative selves and bring it into manifestation, bring it into the realms that is useful for everyone else around us. This shows a person who is very much engaged in the social scene, someone who's very much engaged in being useful and giving useful, practical help with their creative means. And so we know that our creativity needs to be there for others. We know how to achieve this. In fact, we are quite the expert at it. But what we don't know is that we need to travel, it looks like. There's some travel here, there's some movement. We need to pull in ourselves. We may be able to have the expertise to use our creative selves to manifest a useful practicality for people. But we ourselves must conquer our own demons first. There's a lot of our own worlds that we need to bring into reins here, that we need to pull our masculine and feminine side together, our yin and our yang. We need to find that balance. And the Chariot is the number 7. 7 is a very active card. This is actually attributed to the Trump of Cancer, which is a very active astrological sign, which means that as much as she is comfortable in her ability, in her foresight, in her creative endeavors, she can't just merely sit and allow that to be. She needs to push it out. She needs to spread it around. She needs to get herself into other realms, other territories. And that's what the 7 is saying. That's what the Chariot is saying. Where we're coming from is the 8 of Wands. This is another very active card, a very card that often means travel, and often has been attributed to love and passion. It's just a fast-moving card, often called the rods or the arrows of Cupid. And so where we're coming from is an area of passion, of movement, of luck. I feel a lot of luck here. I feel like something recent had come to be that allowed us to be thinking about our creative abilities and where we need to be going. And speaking of where we're going, the future card is the Lovers, the number 6 card. Now, often this card means relationships and, all the lovey-dovey romantic stuff. But in the Tarot de Marseille, because those French are jaded, it often means, bad luck, unhealthy feelings. Basically, you are her. Then she could be the mother of this young man, or she could be the actual wife, and this is his, side hoe. And he's just like, so I'm leaving you for the side hoe. And then you got Cupid here being like, dang, ain't love a bitch. So funny that we have the 8 of Wands over here, which is called, by tradition, the arrows of Cupid. And right over here, boop, boop, we have Cupid shooting arrows. The reason for all this is that it actually has to do with choices and compromise, the number 6 card, which is the trump of Gemini. And Gemini is all about choices and all about, having the forethoughts, the everything planned out and thought of. And so here I say that our future is going to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Confusing. It's going to be confusing. You got a passion over here that had moved us forward, and you got our minds thinking like, okay, what choices do I have to make? Okay, what do I have to compromise? Yeah, you have appeared that you need to utilize your creative abilities in order to help and be useful to others. But the 7 over here is telling you, like, you got to conquer for yourself first, ho. So what do? How do we put this all together? And this is the brilliance of the cross pole. Because all these together equals, boop, boop, 21, the world card. Which we could be at ease now, because the world card is like the luckiest card in any deck. It represents having all roads open to you. The girl's naked, yeah, because she's naked because she's free. She's free because she doesn't care. She doesn't have the worries that she once did. She is as carefree as the fool was. She is the fool. She is the completion of the fool. She has all of the avatars around her. She has the wreath of protection around her. She dances in her revelry, in her success, in her knowledge that everything is going to be okay. So for today's reading, even though we'll have feelings that we need to bring our creative selves into some sort of productive manner, and that we will have the kind of the stark realization that there's things we still need to conquer in our own realms, and that we came from an area of luck and passion and fast-moving energy. The fact is that all that equaled this future, this imbalance. I'm feeling an imbalance here with relationships, with friendships, with family. So there's going to be just like, everything's okay, but everything's like just kind of weird. And that weirdness is just going to be okay. It's going to be okay because I feel that it's canceled out here with the world card. The world card gives us the option. The option is that we can be anywhere here. We could choose any of these things. We can even go back right here. So we could choose to have this little love triangle drama. Or we can focus on our creative selves. Or we can go ahead and just work on what we need to work on so that we can get to where we need to be. But we can even just keep basking in this luck over here, in this fast-moving energy. With the world card, it's all possible. And even those in between, those opportunities that could be in between. So, because it's such an unusual reading, I'm going to go ahead and get a summary card for us to help clarify this. And we have, boop, boop. So this is the Knave of Swords, which is the Page of Swords, and it was in the reverse. The Page of Swords represents being cautious, being very, I'm going to look over there and see if I want to join. Whereas in the reverse, it is more cautious with your normal disposition. You are now cautious of being too nervous about it. And so you would rather step into it. And this is actually an evolution of the card, because the next card would be the Knight of Swords, who is very much not opposed to getting involved. So what does this mean as a summary for our spread over here? It means that, as I was saying before, we can just do as we want. We can choose any of these opportunities or choose new opportunities. Choice is always something that we will have. And especially today, we will be aware of it. So we might as well take that opportunity and take that drive that is given by the energies of today. It was a little weird of a reading. Maybe the wine is getting to me. But it is still a good one, and one that you should contemplate throughout the day, as always. And may the wheel turn in our favor.